Mulligans and Hackers Golf. I'm Chris,
I'm Alvin.
and we're back with
TPC Scottsdale.
MNP Cup week number 7,
Oh,
6.
six.
Week number
Six.
6.
Week
Yeah,
number
week number
six.
6.
So
Playing the old Scottsdale.
Scottsdale, which I know the last time we played this course,
It ate us up.
it ate us up terribly.
Yep.
And what was this course playing today? Like 6,600 yards or something?
It was playing a very long ways. Let's just put it that way.
And we all know the longer these courses play,
6,625 yards.
and the longer these courses play,
The worse for Alvin.
the more disadvantage Alvin has because he's not hitting it far off of the tee box.
Yep, that's very true. So, I mean, we got I started with 4 crispy pars.
Boom. Start with just 4 pars, just laying them in. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it was good. And I mean, my approach shots were dialed. I was happy. 4 crispy pars. I mean, I like the putting again. The putting was like early on. I had a couple shots at birdies, and they just wouldn't drop for me.
Just would not go.
It's like, again, they show you break. You play the break. It's not there. You don't play the break. All of a sudden it breaks.
Yeah.
Like, this is the most fucking frustrating thing in the world for me.
I know, because you're so good on a putting green. And I'm not going to say I enjoy watching you struggle putting on the simulator, but, I look at that and I go, at least I'm not great at it, right? But when I watch you struggle, I'm like, at least it's not just me.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not just me sucking at this, but watching you, a really good putter, as we've seen throughout the years, best part of your game is the putter, and to watch you struggle a little bit, I won't say that I'm disappointed in that. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie,
dude. I started with 4 straight pars, and I did make one long putt to save one of those
for sure.
And then 5, 6, and 7, I bogeyed, and I had like 7 putts.
Yep.
And I ripped the lip on the putt or on the hole about 4 times, and I was just like, it was so infuriating.
Yes.
Like, so infuriating. I was ready to chuck my putter. It was so
bad.
I
actually, there was a few times there on the front where you had your putter in your hand and you had it in both hands, and you were like, you could see the red. I mean, you're a ginger, but boy, there was some steam coming off of you at that point. Because again, just watching it, I mean, I even put my head down on a couple. It's like, wow, I can't believe that didn't go in. Like, seriously.
But I mean, I rebounded on 8, I parred 8, and then I bogeyed 9 to finish at 37.
You birdied 9.
Or birdied 9. To
come up with a big birdie on number 9.
Yes, to finish at 37 plus 2 through 9. So a great 9.
Great 9.
Great 9.
Absolutely.
Despite all that, it was a great 9.
You bet. So I start with a par. We both parred the first hole. Yep. I was kind of like, okay, this is Scottsdale. Yep, got the first par out of the way. Sweet, right? Then I bogeyed 2. I'm like, okay, 1 over through 2, right? 1 over through 2. Scottsdale, doing it.
Yep.
Then the par 5 hit. And I kind of butchered that hole. I put it everywhere. Every bad spot you could put it on that hole. Going up the fairway, I went left, way right. Oh, no, went left.
You straight pulled.
Straight pulled. Then my second shot didn't get out of this shit. Third shot got out onto the fairway, and then one of those putts. I missed one of those short putts just outside the 6-foot ring. I basically had a 6.5 footer, and there was just nothing I was going to be able to do to get that to drop. So I had to take a triple on number 3. So I'm 4 over through 3 holes. So Alvinator,
where have we heard that before?
Alvinator again, starting terribly, right? So I'm not happy with this. It's kind of like, okay, because I know this course is tough, and I don't play it well when we do play it. I remember 2 years ago I didn't play it well. We've played it on different simulators. I don't play this course well because it's long, right? But then I rattled off 4 pars in a row. 4, 5, 6, and 7. 4 pars in a row.
Not a lot of putting though.
I was
scrambling.
I was scrambling,
chipping them in, right?
Putting it into the ring, chipping them into the ring. So, I bogeyed 8, and then I parred 9. So I actually got out of the front with a 40. Plus 5.
Yep.
And I was like, I was really happy with that.
Yes.
Like, seriously, plus 5 on the front 9 of Scottsdale. Oh, I was like, okay, even if I bogey the back 9, I'm shooting plus 14 here. I'll take plus 14 at Scottsdale, right?
Yep.
So then we made the turn. Go ahead.
I went bogey again, putting.
Yeah.
Putting. Man, my approach shots all fucking day were right on the fucking money.
We're right. So I watched all like your approach shots. I'm pretty sure 90% of them were right on line with the flag.
Yeah, like I was pin hunting basically.
Right, but they would just go that
little bit long, a little short.
Right, you like, but like every line that came out from your irons was right on the flag.
Yeah,
and it was just, probably maybe 10 yards too far in the back, or 7 or 8 yards too short, but you were like right on the flag.
Yep, and then I'd have an opportunity with the putt, and then I'd putt, and it would be like, it would either come up short or it would just be outside the ring, and it would leave me like a 6.5, 7 footer, and I'm like, okay, like I'm usually pretty good at 6.5, 7 footers, and they're basically straight, right?
Yeah,
like very little break in them. So I'd move the dial and I put it just inside the hole,
just not give away the hole,
right? Just inside the edge of the lip from the side that it was breaking on. I'd hit my putt, it would stay right there and go over top of the side of the fucking hole, and I just
continuously. Putt after putt after putt.
Dude, like,
the entire
I don't know
day.
what to fucking do. It was so annoying. And then if I did try to play the break, it wouldn't break. And then if I didn't try to play the break, it would break.
It would break.
And I'm like, I don't understand anymore. So anyways, I started bogey on the back, and then I went par. And then the par 5 I bogeyed. What happened? Oh, I think that's the one. I went out to the right. I went down the cart path. Like, my driver was just crushing. And
So-
I had a couple wayward shots, but I was crushing the ball. And I think that one I went out to the right, and it was underneath a tree, and I wanted to go at it with a 6, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get high enough to get over this tree in front of me. No, I went about 25 yards straight into the tree branch, went right, and I hit an iron. I ended up just off. I chipped. I ended up with 2 putts, and I take a 6.
Yeah.
So then the next hole, I ended up with a double bogey because I hit this one, I had a great approach shot again. I hit an 8 iron. It was 175 yards uphill, or like 3 feet.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, if I hit an 8 iron, it should be close. It should be on the green, and it should be good.
Yeah, you're not going to put yourself in danger by hitting that club.
No, I was like, if anything, I'll be on the front of the green. I'll give me a long putt. It should be fine. So I hit an 8 iron. I absolutely pured it.
But even if you pure it, you shouldn't have enough to get.
Shouldn't. But so I hit it right left, just a smidge left of the flag. Rolls, bounces over the fucking parapet into the fucking water.
Yep.
So then I'm hitting 4 coming back.
Yep.
I was so mad.
Yeah, that's the one I kind of put my head in my hat, and I was like, I couldn't believe that ball went that far. It rolled like that, and it actually just bounced all the way over into the water. I was like, wow,
So
what an adventure for that
right?
ball.
So I ended up taking a double, which, given that, my chip was a little short, and then I made my putt to save a double. So then I go par, and then 17. 17's a risk-reward hole, really short downhill par 4. And I'm like, okay, I'll rip a driver, see if I can get it up there. And I don't know what happened in my swing. It was just ugly. It was bad. And I came out, and I lost it right, and right's OB. And I went right into the gallery, off the gallery, way off into the right side. OB, had to re-hit from the tee boxes.
Yep.
So then I knock it down again, which is 3. I chip it on, which is 4. And then again, the putter gets me, and I take a fucking double. And then I parred 18, and I finished with a +7, 43 on the back for a +9, which just drives me fucking mental. Like, oh, so infuriating.
Yeah, there was a lot of things happening on that back 9 for you, and there was a couple times I just put my head down or turned around and didn't even look at the screen because I don't normally see you play like that. But again, it's simulator golf.
Yeah,
I don't take it too seriously, but it's like, wow, there's some wayward shots here. But
yeah,
I started on the back just like you. I started bogey, 10 and 11. I didn't, again, the holes that I have to play like this, I missed that putt because some of these holes is 3 shots for me, especially on the longer par 4s, right?
Well, when they're over 400 yards for you on the simulator, it's basically 3 to get there.
It's basically 3 to get there, right? So I went bogey, then I parred 12, then the number 13 par 5. So I hit a really shitty tee shot.
Yeah, would you go like 185 yards?
Yeah, like 185 yards. And I look back at Chris, I'm like, well, this is a 4-shot hole. So I take my 3-wood out, and I actually hit a really good, probably the best 3-wood I hit all day. And I put myself up to within
170, 165,
165, 170. I think the green was probably about foot and a half up, so nothing crazy there. And I just took a hybrid out, and I hit a hybrid, and I hit a flush shot, put it right on the green, and it rolled right in the ring. Right? Because I birdied that hole.
Yes. Yeah.
So it went right in the 6-foot ring, and I looked back at Chris and was like, well, I guess it's a 4-shot hole, right?
Yep.
So I took a birdie on that one, which was,
very needed.
My third birdie of the entire tour.
Yeah.
Right? So then I bogeyed 14, parred 15, parred 16, bogeyed 17, and parred 18. I got out of the back 9 on TPC Sawgrass with a 39.
Which is really good. And what number is that? Is that 16? 16 is the one where they boo you if you miss the green.
So, yes. So
it's 140-yard downhill par 3.
I hit 8-iron. I actually hit it in front of the green. If the ball would have hopped forward, I would have made the green, and I wouldn't have got booed. But my ball hit and totally took a right-hand bounce.
Dude, that happened to you all day on every par 3 green you went to hit. It was like money distance, and then it would kick right.
Yeah.
And I hit a pitching wedge, and I hit a great ball. I landed on the green, and then I got backspin somehow, and then backspinned off into the bunker.
But we both got up and down on that one.
Yeah, we did. We both got up and down for a par, which was good.
Which was
we got some cheers after that, which was nice.
So I finished 40, 39. Right. I shot 79 at TPC Sawgrass.
And for the first time all year, you beat me by a stroke.
Boom!
In gross. You beat me by a stroke in gross.
In gross. And again, I broke 80.
Yeah.
At TPC Sawgrass. Long course, right?
But this is the evolution in our game. It's like you just stick with your game.
Yep. You're
like, there's not much I can do to get there, right? No. And I had a couple shots where I was a little aggressive today because I was working on a couple things, and I was a little. It's funny because when I do get frustrated, I just kind of just say screw it, and I'll add a couple strokes because I go for it.
This is what I noticed today in your game. Your driver. I mean, there was one where you hit it 300 yards.
Yep.
Right, like you were pounding it out there, 280, 290, 300 with your driver, and it was still most of them were in play. There was a couple wayward shots, but I haven't seen you hit your driver on the sim like that. Like you were like wedges in.
Yeah.
But where your game is strong, your game is not strong off the tee box. Your game is wedges and putting. So today was like a totally opposite day for you.
Reversed.
It was reversed because you were hitting along, but you couldn't get those wedges to stick. Like we said, you were on line, but you're always like 10 yards a little bit too far or 7 yards too short.
Yep.
Right? You were giving yourself those putts. And putting wasn't working for you today. So that put you into that plus nine category. I mean, if you could have got 1 or 2 putts to drop, you were plus 7, plus 6, right? If you kept one of those drives inbounds, you're back down to plus 5, right? You know what I mean? We could look at those shots that could have saved you today. Sure. You bet. But
for sure.
Where you're strongest, that strong part of your game where you save strokes every single day we play, that wasn't working for you today.
No, it was one of those days where I had to battle, and I mean, ultimately, honestly, like a plus 9 is I can't really be not unhappy with that. I mean, all things considered, I thought I played outside of like 2 holes where 2 shots got away from me, and I mean, it is what it is because it's on the sim. And I mean, I had a couple putts that just it's a video game. If I'm outside, then I'm responsible for the read. I'm responsible for how much it's going to break. I'm responsible for the speed. I can see it. I can walk it. I get a better feel for it. On the simulator, it's kind of like you got to go off the little chart that tells you the stimp reading or whatever, and you got to like just guess. And that's what you're doing. It's a best guess, right?
Yep.
And I mean, I made a couple decent putts, but overall, it's I think I've only had 1 round all year that's been in double-digit pluses.
Yep.
In the 5 week or 6 weeks.
6 weeks. This was week 6.
In the 6 weeks that we've played, I've only had 1 round that's been in double-digit pluses. So I'm very happy with that.
This was my best round so far of this
Yes.
MNP Cup. So
Yep.
to get it at
I think
TPC,
this is your first one under double digits.
under
isn't
it is, yeah. And to break 80 at Scottsdale, I got nothing to complain about. I'm just going to take it, start the car, and run.
Yeah, man. Like
So-
that's you played well, and like there for a while we were kind of just hanging out at the beginning, and then I was like 3 or 4 strokes ahead, and then all of a sudden we're both at +4, and I'm like, oh, and then we're like both at +6, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, we're tied. Like, look at you, you're playing really well.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to force too much. I was just hitting that fade. The one that I did pull left didn't fade for me, but I was just hitting that 200-yard fade drive off the tee box,
Boomerang fade.
just boomerang fade. The shot that I don't hit on a golf course, not with my driver.
No, man. Your shot shape for your driver on the simulator is nothing like what your shot shape is in real life.
So-
like you shoot it basically dead arrow straight
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
On there, it's like every single time it comes off, it boomerangs.
And there's nothing I could do to straighten it out. I mean, and I'm not going to rework my driver
No.
swing for a simulator. Fuck that.
Once you get outside, it'll all be back.
Yeah,
to
and again,
normal.
that type of work I'm okay with. Like, again, I want to see where this, especially the gym, the
Yep.
continuing working on shit for once a week, right? I want to see how it translates to the real course, and I'll say it every podcast we do here in the MNP Cup. I'm really excited to see where it translates to the real course.
Yeah, man. Like once it's done being -3 million outside, like it is right now.
Four
Four more days.
four
of
more
fucking
days.
Winter.
4 more days, and winter's over for us. We're looking at
Well,
plus
by the
temperatures.
time you hear this podcast, winter will have.
Winter
been
will
over.
be over. Yeah, that's
'Cause,
right.
I mean, it's supposed to be fucking +8 in like 4 days. So I mean, which is good news because in golf news, that means that the sooner it gets nice, the sooner these
we're
golf
gonna
courses
play.
are going to be working,
You
the
bet.
sooner they're going to want to open up.
You bet.
Which means that outdoor golfing is right around the corner, buddy.
Which means Alberta Golf Tour.
Which
So we-
means we really got to get Leon.
We have
here.
to get Leon here to go over the schedule because the schedule's been released.
Yeah, we've been
so-
saying this like the last 3 or 4 pods. We really got to get.
We
her on.
really got to get her on, so we're going to work on that in the next little while and get a season preview, go over the schedule.
Yep.
And just chat Alberta Golf Tour golf. So we're going to have to do that right away.
But I mean, if you look at the first time we played the sim league to now, like we're shooting way better scores.
For
way
sure.
better scores.
For sure. Even with me not still not getting distance off
Like
the tee
I
box.
feel like I'm shooting like 9 or 10 strokes better.
Oh, well, for sure.
Like, and I feel like you're also shooting
Well,
at least that.
Again, I just remember I started the previous time we played on this. I started the first 3 weeks single digits, and then when the courses got longer, that's when I struggled.
Yep.
Because I was in the +20s, +23. I couldn't get it back, and I wasn't my approach game and putting. I didn't understand the stemp on the all that type of stuff. And I've actually drained some putts on the simulator, so that progression is nice to see as well.
Yep. It's funny because they have stats on there for like the further away you are from the green and your how far you are from the pin. The further it gets away from the green, the higher I go off the list. It's crazy.
So the speaking of the lists and where people are in tournament standings and shit, who's leading the league in fairways hit?
So you are leading the league. Oh, at number 1 in fairway percentage is Mr. Alvin Paul.
Right here.
Now, just to put that into context for you guys, here's the flip side of that.
There's a caveat to this for sure.
Alvin is so in driving distance. There's 53 people in our league. Alvin is like 50th in driving distance.
But first in fairways hit.
That's right.
I still hit the fairway. I just barely hit the fairway.
So you're leading the tour. The tour average is 38.27% for fairways, and you've hit 69.09%. So you've
Boom.
hit just under 70% of fairways.
Boom.
So in the greens, the average is 37%. Where are we here? I've hit 41.67, tied for 22nd, and then
I don't want to know.
you actually aren't that bad. You've hit 30.56 and you're 36th.
Okay.
So that's not terrible. And then what was the other one I looked at? I'm top 3 in sand save. I'm number 3 at 71.43%.
Yeah, I believe it because I've seen it.
So which is cool. So longest drive in the league. Alvin ranks 45th out of 53 with a drive of 242 yards.
Oh, that's the one I hit off the tree.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even really hit that one.
And I'm 18th because these have to be in the fairway, and I'm 18th with 298 yard drive.
Man, can you imagine if I could hit the ball 298 yards?
The guy who hit it, the guy who's in first, 349, second 327, third 322, fourth 321, and fifth 319. Like, that's just crazy.
I just don't know how you get those yardages on a simulator.
I don't either. It's just wild.
Like I can't my club hit, I can't get the club head speed to make that a reality.
It's wild. There's a couple guys that have a bunch of eagles. Mac has a grand total of 3 bogeys
in 6 rounds.
In 6 rounds, 3 bogeys. Like, you wonder why he's shooting so well. It's crazy.
But anyways,
yeah.
There we go.
I mean, we're
TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah, next up, we got Riviera Maya.
Riviera Maya.
I will be on that golf course, hopefully, in a couple weeks. I don't know if I'll be playing, but my Airbnb is on that golf course in Mexico. I'm hoping to get out there and swing the clubs, but I don't know if it'll happen. But at least if I play it when we play it next week, I'll know what I'm looking forward to.
At least take a picture while you're down there.
Yeah, I'll take a picture for sure. But I mean, at least we get to play it on the sim, anyways.
Yeah, that's cool that you're going to be there though, down in Mexico.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be nice for you to get out and play around on there, but
we'll see what happens. We're there for a week, so we'll see what happens. If we get out and play, that'll be awesome. I mean, it gets a little pricey down there, so we'll see. But you know, if nothing else, the Airbnb backs right onto one of the holes, so I'll take some photos. It'll be sweet.
Yeah.
You get to see the cenotes and stuff, and be good. But
there anyway, it is. MNP Cup, TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah.
In the books. I beat this guy.
Finally.
Boom.
1 in 6.
1 in 5.
All right. Later.